Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 45.6k subscribers. Let's try to get to 50k by election day. Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. But before we get started, I have to tell you guys about my friends over at My Patriot Supply. Are you ready for what the future brings? Every day the news headlines get worse. Civil unrest, the second wave of COVID-19, economic collapse, massive suffering, not to mention what Mother Nature will do. Hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, wildfires, it's all there. The question is, will you be prepared? If you don't already have an adequate supply of long-term emergency food, it's like driving around without wearing your seatbelt, thinking you'll have time to put it on right before an accident. I urge you to build your emergency food supply now because there is no time to waste. And as always, my highest recommendation goes to the company I personally trust and use, and you can too. It's My Patriot Supply, the go-to experts in emergency preparedness. Their mission is your survival, and right now they're knocking off $100 off their ample 4-week supply of delicious, nutritious food that's specially packaged to last up to 25 years, so make sure you don't pass this up. I believe that everyone has a personal responsibility to have at least 4 weeks worth of emergency food on hand at all times. You can order yours within a matter of minutes. Just go to preparewithredeagle.com. That is preparewithredeagle.com. So we have to talk about Joe Biden today. Joe Biden back in the news. Finally, he left the basement, and we're going to explain why. It's not probably going to help him that much after a lot of the stuff that went down today. Joe Biden, right here, you can see him in the community asking the question, do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? We're going to talk about that in a second. What I will say here is that this is a map based on where the trends have been going in the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to the voter registration by party. And every single county in western Pennsylvania has been moving significantly in the Republican direction. So it's kind of a dumb thing for Biden to go out there and decide to campaign in western Pennsylvania when he knows that if he's going to win, he's not going to win in these areas. He needs to turn out his supporters in places like Delaware, Chester, and Montgomery County, as well as Philadelphia. But Biden is not doing that. Biden and the Democrats have been taking the black vote for granted this time, and it really showed in the primaries, and they've shown no signs of trying to get that vote other than to appeal to the suburban white resist crowd by virtue signaling to BLM, but that's not going to help very much with turnout. And you can see it here. Philadelphia has actually registered more Republicans than it's registered Democrats since the 2016 election. So not really a good look for Biden. I'm not saying Trump is going to improve a massive amount in Philadelphia. I'm saying that Biden is not really energizing his voters in Philadelphia, and he's even going to the part of the state that doesn't want anything to do with him. It's funny, that in of itself, but that doesn't even get to a lot of these things that we have to talk about today. Circulating around Joe Biden. Joe Biden today, apparently he's out of the basement, but he still is having gaffes when he has no teleprompter. Even if he does have a teleprompter, he's still getting gaffes. I think the one anomaly was the speech that he practiced in his basement for 4 months, trying to get every single word correct, because right now he steps out of the basement and he starts faltering. Take a listen.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
So as you can see here, Biden is clearly losing it. And a lot of people blame Biden's signs of early onset dementia as some sort of stutter. But if you watch Biden from 2008, if you watch Biden from 2012, mentally he was relatively intact. The Biden that you're seeing now, it's not really there. It took him about 20 seconds to barely complete a sentence, and by the time he's finished, everybody is confused. Nobody knows what the hell he's talking about, and it just proves that this is what happens when he leaves the basement. This is why they've been sheltering him. If there are not debates, This is why we don't know. Biden claims he'll be debating. We don't know. He must be practicing nonstop. I encourage Trump supporters not to overestimate Trump and underestimate Biden in the debates, but at this rate, it's very, very hard to do that because it seems like he can't say anything right. It was kind of a go you know the thing moment on steroids here. Biden saying it's taken more than 100 years for an outbreak or something like that. Nobody understands what he's saying. And it shows. It just shows. And that's not the only sign that Biden's campaign is in shambles right now. There were plenty of technical difficulties. Take a listen.
Of extremists and opportunists, right-wing militias, 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 militias.
All right, we're having some technical difficulties there with Joe Biden's remarks.
So as you can see, the Biden campaign can't get anything right. They can't get anything right. Them campaigning in Pennsylvania was one red flag, but you see right here, this is very much another one. And what makes you think that their operation to win is in good shape? They stumbled through the primaries. They got help from a man named Jim Clyburn, who helped them win South Carolina, and did very, very well on Super Tuesday because he got help from people named Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, who dropped out. And if they didn't, Bernie Sanders very may well have been the nominee right now. But you look at what's happening. Biden can't run his campaign. He can't really control what comes out of his mouth at this point. And he is trying to convey to people that he would be a much better option than Trump to lead America. Do you think this guy can stand up to China? Personally, if you watch it, I don't really think he has the guts. That's just my take. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of left-wingers in the comment section. They're more than welcome to leave their comments below and try to say, oh, Orange Man bad, this, that, and the other thing. But Orange Man bad is not going to win you an election. You have to give something for people to vote for. And this is not really something that anybody wants to vote for. And Trump is not as hated as a lot of people think. He has a lot of haters, but he is not as hated in the swing states. In fact, Biden is polling at roughly under 48% in the top swing state aggregate in RCP. He keeps falling in the betting odds. A lot of people know that something is going up, and it's just insane. And we do know that Biden is also trying to flip-flop. Take a listen.
I am not banning fracking. Let me say that again. I am not banning fracking, no matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
So Joe Biden is already saying that he has never talked about banning fracking. He says Donald Trump is lying about it, but we have on record here Joe Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris talking about banning fracking. Take a listen.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those, any fossil fuel.
Like what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping new pipeline infrastructure and
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
To a boom in oil and natural gas production. As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes.
So as you can see here, Biden clearly is trying to flip-flop on the issue. And flip-flopping on the issue is not going to help you on an issue. Look at Hillary Clinton. She said she opposed TPP after calling it the gold standard. It doesn't help, and you will get destroyed in debates if you flip-flop. Look at John Kerry. Look at Mitt Romney. These are past candidates that have flip-flopped consistently on the issues and have failed miserably. We already know that Biden kind of flip-flopped on the police issue when it comes to funding police. Biden said in the one interview, yeah, he would divert funding. The next interview, he said he wasn't defunding the police. Definitely, all of this flip-flopping does not necessarily add up. And we know how it is with flip-floppers, and they don't end well. And I've made the comparison several times between Biden and Kerry and Biden and Romney. And you're seeing a lot of similarities here today with Biden's rally in Pittsburgh. But again, that was not necessarily the end of this madness. You can take a listen here.
Ask yourself, do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? Really?
So Biden claims that he is not a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters. Now, I can't really speak much to the radical socialist part. I don't think Biden is a socialist, although he does support some of these socialist initiatives that Bernie Sanders was talking about, like the massive job-killing Green New Deal, which he has all but supported, and his running mate Kamala Harris has supported. And when asked on every single issue of the Green New Deal, even though he said he wouldn't support a Green New Deal, he had said that he would. So when Trump's talking about a Trojan horse for socialism, he's basically saying that because this guy's got AOC running the climate, which is what Biden had said, he's kind of sympathetic to their plans and probably, under the right circumstances, because he's so weak, enact a Green New Deal if Democrats do take control of the Senate and he is able to do whatever he wants. In my opinion, I think that very well could happen. So in terms of having a soft spot for the rioters, as you know, Biden was very, very weak on the riots. He did not mention them in his DNC speech. Biden had condemned the rioting back in late May, but really hasn't talked about it a lot, partially because as the riots were going on, Biden was hiding in the basement. He wasn't really showing a whole lot of true leadership. I don't care that he's not president. I don't care that he's running for president. Donald Trump talked at length about the race riots that were happening back in 2016. Joe Biden here has virtually said nothing about it and has done nothing but say racist, 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 and orange man bad. And I don't think the American people is really buying this. As we know, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, within their campaign, Kamala Harris had said, keep protesting. She had promoted the bail fund for the rioters, and many of Biden's campaign staff have donated to this bail fund for rioters. Joe Biden has also talked about ending cash bail. So you can see here that Biden kind of is showing signs of having soft spots for rioters, in my opinion at least. He's been very, very weak on them. He did not denounce Antifa by name, if you remember. They pressed Trump. They said you must denounce the alt-right and the KKK by name back during Charlottesville. However, Donald Trump did that 2 days later, and he was still hounded for it. Now, Joe Biden is not really getting hounded at all by the press for not denouncing Antifa by name. He sort of denounced the murder in Portland a little bit. You could kind of tell that. However, he did not denounce Antifa or any of these far-left groups by name. Biden was not actively denouncing them. Instead, Biden actually canceled his trip to Kenosha. And I don't really know why that is, but apparently it's showing that he doesn't want to show true leadership. Donald Trump is going to Kenosha tomorrow to showcase his leadership. So all in all, it seems like Biden's event didn't really work out so well. A lot of technical difficulties, a lot of borderline dementia comments, a lot of half-truths and flip-flopping at this event here in Western Pennsylvania. In terms of Pennsylvania, I think that Biden may have the edge in the state right now, but if he's going to be spending time campaigning in areas that are not going to vote for him at all, it doesn't really seem like he's playing to win the state, and his campaign is just all over the place. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. Become a member. Donate to the Patreon or subscribe. Star links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.